In this class lesson, let's look at how we can use our Flex control panel to perform switching operations. One thing I want to make a point of is to make sure that your interface is set to the switcher mode. This will mimic the same type of switching workflow that the Flex will use. Now that we are looking at our Flex, you'll notice that there are a row of cross points that go across the majority of the board, and one row is red and one row is green. These mimic these same program preview cross points you see on the interface, and pressing any of the buttons will select that appropriate channel on the TriCaster. You'll notice that there's an LCD readout above all the buttons, and this information will match what's been programmed into the TriCaster. For example, let's say we want to change the label for input 1. We can do that by going into the TriCaster user interface, right-clicking on the button we want to change, and going to Configure. Then in this window, open up the Name Comments area, and where it says Button, whatever information you enter into this field is the same that will appear on the LCD control panel. Will be called my main input. I'll type that in, and you can see that on the Flex, it now says main in that position. It's also possible to select more sources across your cross points than what is available. Next to all the cross points, there's a button that says Bank. If you hold this button down, you'll see another selection of sources appear on all of your cross points. And then you can use the same preview program buttons to select any of these cross points from the listing. When you let go of the bank button, it's going to revert back to the original bank you were on. So that's a temporary way to do it, where you can just hold down bank, select a source, and when you let go, you're back on the original bank you started with. There is a way to force the system to a bank, and that can be done by double pressing the bank button. So if I press it twice in a row, you can see now I'm on bank 2, and these are the sources I can select without having to hold down any key. If I hold down bank, it would go to the next bank. Now in this case, this TriCaster only has 2 banks, so I'm just going back and forth between them, but some higher model TriCasters may have 3 or even 4 banks, and so when you're doing this, you can advance from bank to bank to bank, and when you reach the last one, it will loop around back to the beginning. You can also shift bank to go backwards a bank if you want to go in the opposite direction. But to get back to my original bank, I'll just double press the button again, and we're back to bank 1. There's some other controls by the T-bar. We have our take and auto buttons, and these will perform the same actions found on the TriCaster interface. Above the auto button, you'll see a fade and trans button. Pressing one of these will either take you to the last transition you used or the fade transition. So if I hit trans, you'll see it goes to a different transition. Let's just perform that transition. And then if I hit fade, you see it goes to fade, and now I'm doing a fade transition. Finally, we can change the speed of our transitions using the rate button. If I hold this down, you'll see different speeds appear, and you can select the button below the speed you want. So let's say I want a slow fade. You can see that has been changed. Let's put a different source on preview, and now when I auto, you can see it as a slow transition. And now if I want a fast one, I can hold down rate again, go to fast, and now it performs a fast transition.